Hi everybody, it's Hannah here with another video, and this is going to be a story time kind of video that I'm going to read off, and it is called 10 Scariest Horror Stories, and they're by Victoria Nelson, May 4th of 2018, so it's fairly recently when I'm making this video, and I hope you guys like this video, and if you do, please like, subscribe, and if you have any video suggestions you want me to do, please comment below also. The story number 1, the trains. Vertically unknown in the U.S., outside a small organ of dedicated fans, the British winter writer Robert Ackman, he died in 1981, is the virtuoso of the sophisticated, strange stories he had doubled his tales. He scares and an Ackman story come not from gore or violence, but from the way he purposely bends reality right before your startled eyes. Not just once, but again and again, and still again. All the same story in this little masterpiece of Gothic indirection. Two young women, standard walking trip the north of England, seek shelter in a remote Victorian mansion active to a train track. There is a handsome host, menacing servant, a mad aunt who died mysteriously, even a murderer. But all this is besides the point. The real scares become the train and scream loudly past every few minutes on this important line. In the middle of nowhere, there is unseen engineers who always wave at girls. Curiously, the train passes by less often on the third floor than the ground level. As a child, it would be noted, Ackman liked to invent imaginary kingdoms completely with meticulously controlled railroad schedules. That was the first story. And the second one is 3 Miles Up by Elizabeth Jane Howard. And the first one I just read was by Robert Ackman. So if you guys didn't notice, and the second one is what I just read, 3 Miles Up by Elizabeth Jane Howard. One of the greatest England ghost stories ever written. This actually observed unfairly terrifying tales is tied from first place in my activity, and perhaps awkwardly because Howard, better known for her realistic novels of upper-class England life, was briefly Ackman's lover in younger years. Together they produce a joint collection, We Are the Dark, in which is this tale's appearance. Two feckless young men rent a narrow boat for holidays on the inland canals of England. The journey takes a left turn after a violent fight, and they awkward the anemic young woman upon as a candle search on and on and on and on until. That's number 2. This is number 3. The title is called The Shadow over Innsu by H.P. Lovecraft. All my life, favorite Lovecraft stories. A young man on holiday takes an unplanned detour to the seaside New England town, saturated with the smell of fish, set to the base of the real fishing town of Gloucester. Lovecraft not something lost that smell. With glimpse of the strange mishap in folks of alleys and doorways, he gradually learns the town's secret, the infamous ink-mouth look, shared by 2 towns inbreed inhabitants, flat noses, bulgy eyes, rough skin, possibly a tad too long, and featuring one of those irritating characters who delivered truckloads of information in implant dialected. It's still a masterpiece of abstract horror. The next one is called Casting the Runes by M.R. James. Then this is the 4th one. A scholar of the folklore is stalked by a stellar supernatural entity and finds of the other ways to undo the runic course he's under is to physically hand it back to the person who cast it. It's the plot in a nutshell, but true beauties of the great story by the medievalist and former Eton headmaster lie in the dialected satire and cursory warning to editors the world over the pearls and rejecting angry authors, especially insert something. I sent it once as a joke to my Harvard editor, and he didn't answer. Did that mean the tale scared him as much as it scared me when I first read it? It was made into the Janix's Tornu movie Night of the Demon, in which the studio famously had no practice with invisible stalker and insert the puppet-like paper machu creator to raise the streaks. Not a bit scary though. I understand a few Dement fans actually prefer it. Woo. Number 5. The Minutes by Laura Carruth. The uncomparable British stirless painter with the color life, daughter with wealthy endurist lover of Max Yerst. She was 19, imposed in mental asylum in Spain, escapedly to spend most of the rest of her life in Mexico. Best known for her fantastical art. She also wrote even volume of fiction includes not to be missed novel, The Hearing Trumpet. This story is now available in new collection edits of Horrington's work concerns a Republican duettion who likes to visit a hyenas at the zoo, her only friend. When it comes time for the dreaded ball, the Dementor begs of Hia go to her place, arguing that they were almost the same size, plus people don't see well in the evening light. To disguise its face, they are agreed on hyenas must kill her maid and use the maid's face as a mask. This is only asserts us because she hates dancing so much. The Hia kills the maid, goes to the ball wearing her face, and here I am trying to make up for all the spoils on the list, but read the other of her stories if you already feel like one of the been ruined for you. They are also worthy and scary. Woo! Number 6. Accents Stories by, the last name is Blackwood. I don't know how to pronounce her first name, like Algernon or something like that. Only now I realize this is the twin of the black shoulder over inner mouth. A stranger journeys to a remote town there, where the dark secrets and inhabitants hide is that they are part of the human and part something else. This is exactly what the Englishman author Vincent to discover the French hills town where his vacuuming long ago inhabitants made a deal with the devil, and as a result they turn into a different sort of creature at night. In the case of species more appealing to Blackwood and to me than fish were Lovecraft and English look in the town is distinct film, and then that's about it. But the other one is like something in Spanish, so I have no idea. Number 7, the Engidio, and it's by the same person. Undoubtedly dated the Calhoun in its attitudes. This story is story of a cannibal something intrigue that embodies the northern Canadians' wildness, still retain its ability to deeply scare. A haunted party of white men enters a virgin forest only to have their French-Canadian guide swallowed up by it and split back out uncannily. Entire favorite tagline. The guide's disembodies wails heard from high overhead. Oh, this very height. My feet is on fire. My burning feet is on fire. He's the prey of the giant mouse eating invisible creatures that thumbs and jumps hundreds of feet in the air, smells like lion, and do you say it does not wish humans well. Number 8, Carmilla by Sherdia Lee Fanu. This truly servers equal tells the lesbian vampire stalking her incorrectly prey has Lee Fanu trackmark magnificently pricing that gives the mounting horror a sense of utter inexplicability. The charming Elizabeth, oh so generally insane, herself to the affections of the Shuttle's young nature until the final consummation with death by violence. The replace that as if the most horror stories for sexual climax. But the feeling lingers on. Besides the daring undertones for the story published in 1871, one of the great eons is that Lee Fanu originally started his story in the wild of Ireland. His editor, however, judged that an Eastern Europe setting improved the right exonic atmosphere, and the country male became the astral human something provides from Syria. I have always loved the vampire something changes names, and then there's like 3 different names. It's like Milka, Mirica, and then Carmilla. So the only thing that's different is probably each letters or whatever. 2 M's and 1 C practically. I don't know. And then the 9th one is called A Terror Strange Bed by Wickley Collins. When my university library got renovated with those space savings, oscillation style cracks, my wheels that cracked open and shut, it unwittingly opened up the same opportunity of murderer and the Victorian Gothic writer Wickley Collins presents his tale of a drunken Englishman staying overnight in the room above a parson gabbling dean after he has hit the jackpot. He awakens the night to discover the top cabinet for poster is sleeping in only inches above his face and still coming down. In our stacks think vertical, now insane, of horizontal, when the invisible person 3 rows down impatiently begins crackling on top of the sharp cry and disturb, and you know the grudges accumulate the universe departments. And the last one, the 10th one, is called Shamble You by C.L. Moore. Technically science fiction, this tale is an entirely by Polish female science fiction writer, seen more recurring hero, the space cowboy Northwest Smith saved a raggedy girl from an angry mob. When the echoes of Pearl Pier and Colin Columbin, he claims her as his own. The mob melts away in the contempt and disbelief that would show have worn him. Smith doesn't get turned to stone. That what follows instead of is sensuous, slower, groovy sex, worth the price of abnesis alone. This over the top, this Danubes would surely have sent the squashish lovercraft him a 10 cute guy screaming into the night. So that will be all for this video, and I hope you guys enjoy this this video. If you do, let me know, and please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.